Welcome, everyone, to RiverCity-Media Beyond the Booth. Tonight, it's Fort Payne volleyball hitting center stage. And tonight, our special guests, Lydie Varnadore, I said it wrong right off the bat, Varnadore and Carly Cash. Welcome, ladies. Welcome to the show. I know you just finished your meal and had volleyball practice. I know y'all had a busy first 2 weekends of the season. Y'all know y'all finished first in the bronze division the first weekend of volleyball. And then y'all played this past weekend. So y'all have already played, 19 matches so far? And you got a little break. Did a break come at a good time?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Because, playing all weekend, it's a lot of fun. But, you kind of sort of want to enjoy some other things. And, I know volleyball is fun, but it takes up a lot of your time because you still have to play during the week also. Well, coming up, I just want to ask you about this. Coming up as the season progresses, y'all are now at 14-5, I think, and I guess area opponents are the same as it is for basketball. Y'all have got Southside and Gadsden City, so y'all have got an important area matchup on Thursday. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, tell me, does either one of you can both answer? Do y'all know anything about Gadsden City? Have they been very good in the past? Do y'all know very much about them?
I think they've gotten progressively better each year. So I think this year, I think Coach Powell's working on getting some film so that we can watch them. But we haven't seen them since last year, so they definitely could have gotten better.
Yeah, definitely so. Well, tell me this, speaking of Coach Powell, this is her second season that she's come in. And both of you, I want you to comment on, what are your thoughts on Coach Powell? I know her first season, kind of sort of getting to know her and her style and, and the way she wants things. Have y'all kind of sort of bought in now and more comfortable with, with the direction she's going with the team?
Yes, sir. I think last year she's had conversations with the team. I think it definitely was a hard adjustment, but I think this year we're all bought into what she's doing, and she's worked really, really hard with us girls and this team to make us successful. And even this summer, just providing us with many opportunities to be the best we can.
Yes, I agree with Lily. She has worked really, really hard.
Yeah. What are some of the things she brings to the table, Carly, that's made you a lot better player? Is she a fine detail? Is she a very detailed coach?
Yeah, she puts a lot of work in and helps us get better individually, for sure.
Well, is she the type of coach? And of course, I know she's the type of person she was when I called basketball when she played. I'm going to think that she's probably one of these coaches. She's going to be hard and going to be demanding, but she's also very encouraging because, she's the type of coach that wants you to play as a team. In volleyball, that's very important.
Yes, for sure. I think that's one thing that she's really focused in on is that every single thing that as an individual that you do, the whole team does it. And so she's really focused on being a team and a family, and I think she's really locked in on that.
Yeah, well, that's good. I know. I think the world of her. I've kind of sort of met up with her off and on. We kind of sort of acquaintances, but I've always admired her. When I first started calling basketball was her sophomore year in high school, and it was a joy to watch her. And I know she's a great coach now. Well, I want to start with you, ladies. I start with you first, Carly. Tell us a little bit. Of course, I know your mom and dad. Tell us a little bit about them, and also tell us a little bit about Connie, your brother. A little bit about them, and then what they mean to you.
My dad was a 3-sport athlete in high school, and he has always pushed me to be the very best I can be. And my mom didn't really – well, she played sports, but she wasn't as good. But she definitely is more the encouraging one. And my brother, he definitely pushed me to be the athlete that I am today because we've always been very competitive with each other. And, yeah, they do mean a lot to me.
Well, I know you like it that he's gone on and playing at Huntington. Of course, this is his senior year. Don't they play at Berry this Saturday?
Yes,
Are you going to be able to get to go see them?
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope you get to too. I want to, but we'll be in Knoxville. But I told Kevin, I said, "Golly, bum, I wished I could go see that one," but it turned out to be we've got a home game because I probably won't never get to see him play. Well, Is there between you and Connor, is there a certain sibling rivalry there? I know you're proud for him moving to the next level, but when y'all were growing up, were you always trying to outdo each other?
Oh, for sure. We would always say who was the better athlete, whether it's getting to see who's in the front seat first or getting to the door first. That's always how it's been.
Yeah, that always makes it kind of fun. Of course, that makes mom and dad pull their hair out sometimes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Lydie? Tell us a little about your family. I know Dax is at Mars Hill now. Tell us about your mom and dad. Your dad has coached football, has coached baseball. And, I've spoken a little bit with your mother, but not a whole lot. And you've got a younger sister. So tell us a little bit about your family and what they mean to you.
Yes, sir. So I've grown up in obviously a household where sports have always been a thing. Going from football games, since my dad's always been a coach since I was very little. And so that has always been something that me, my brother, and my sister have been very involved in athletics. So I think something that means a lot to me is how my family is there no matter what. There's three of us siblings, and my parents split up. We have grandparents that come in, step up, traveling me. I have club, and they're always there that they can just whatever, for instance, my grandparents one time had to drive me through the night to St. Louis, Missouri because I had a club thing. And so they just drop everything for me. I think that's what means the most. Something that really sticks out to me is my siblings, though. Even my parents, but my siblings, they are always so supportive of me. My brother, I'll be running track event. He's on the sideline cheering me on. He wants the best for me. And so I think that's what it means the most.
Well, do y'all have a certain sibling rivalry there, though? Each one of you want to out each other no matter what it takes?
Oh, yeah. I think something that so many adults ask us, they're like, oh, who's more athletic? They always are asking us, who do you think's the more athletic sibling? And so I think that's definitely been the competition our whole life. And I'm not that far from my brother. We're only about 2 years apart. So I grew up wanting to do everything he did. If he was riding his bike, I wanted to be riding mine. So I think that's something that I've always looked up to him and wanted to be just like him.
Well, he's now at Mars Hill, and I've seen a couple of videos at practice and whatnot. Do you miss him? Do you keep in touch with him a lot?
Oh, yeah, I miss him. I mean, it's like a 4.5-hour drive. So I get to go see him play this weekend. They have their first game. So I'm excited about that. But I keep up with him. We call him once a day, asking about practice in school and how that's going.
Does he miss home?
Oh, yeah, I think he does. Something that we pray for is that he just finds community down there. I think that he has found a good group of people, and he really loves the boys and the coaches. And he's gotten, obviously, with doing sports, you're really busy in college. So I think that's good that he's found to fill his free time with just sports. But I think he definitely misses home.
Well, of course, I'll go back to Carly. I want to ask you about this too. Mom and Dad, how does this work out? Like if sisters playing volleyball, let's say y'all are playing in Birmingham, does mom go to volleyball, dad go to football, vice versa? How does that end up working out?
Most time my mom would go with me, and then my dad would go with Connor, and then the next week they would just swap.
Swap back and forth. Yeah, because it gets tough now that, especially when you play in varsity sports, because y'all are going to play around the same time. And I talked to Kevin, and he was talking about that. He was going to make that trip. I think they've got one trip up to Pennsylvania, and he was going to try to go up there because he doesn't want to miss a game naturally. And that's great because he and I talked quite a bit here recently when we was talking about having you on. So, I think, and I want you to both comment on this, having supportive parents is so important, not only in high school, but even at the college level, because it's not easy. It's not easy for y'all to balance, like with you, Carly, you play 3 sports, and I know your mother said she's proud of you because you're able to do that, take care of animals, keep your grades up. So she spoke highly of you of that, and they're very proud of you for doing that. But y'all have to take, both of you, y'all come in there, you have to take on a big responsibility.
Yes, sir. I think that is definitely huge, just having a huge support system around me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do all my sports and travel without my parents and my grandparents and my siblings around me. So that means a lot to me.
Yeah, I couldn't do it without my parents either. She's always taken me to every single practice, has always pushed me to go, and I couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, definitely so. Because I know you've got great parents. But I want to ask you this, and I'll let Randy ask a couple of questions, and you both can answer. At home, who's the boss, mom or dad?
I don't know. It kind of depends on the day. I think sometimes it'll be like what mom says goes, but then sometimes my dad steps in. I think a lot of people say I'm just like my dad in the way I think. So it just kind of depends on the day.
Mine's definitely my dad, for sure.
He's the boss.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, in question too, I want to point this out. There's one thing about Carly. You are blessed with your dad's height. There's no doubt about that. And he and I was talking about that. Said, that's the one thing, she's blessed with your height. But then another way, though, I said she makes up for it in heart, and that's the way your dad was. Because I remember watching him play basketball. That was his greatest accomplishment. He played with a lot of heart. What he didn't have in size, he had in heart. Do you feel like you're the same way?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Lee? Do you feel like Carly's, that's probably her greatest asset might be her heart?
Oh, yes, 100%. I know that every single time that Carly steps on the court, whether it's basketball, softball, or volleyball, but obviously I play volleyball with her, I know that she's going to give it 110%. So I think that gives a lot. Obviously, she is shorter, but, she's all over the court all the time.
Well, Carly, what about Lydie? What do you think's her best quality?
The heart, like she gives 110% no matter what she's doing. And I know that she's just a great teammate.
Well, I know both of you are strong leaders. Lydie, what are you, more of a vocal leader or a leader by example?
I think both. Something I think both me and Carly just decided that this year that we would both step up and be leaders. I think we have a lot of younger kids on this in this program that it's their first year on varsity. So I think being a vocal leader to them, but also leading by example and showing that, just showing them that no matter what, that they can count on me when I'm on the court, and that the way that I hold myself, that I hope that they can see that, and that they will hold their self to a higher standard because I do that for myself.
What about you, Carly? Do you feel like you're a vocal leader or a leader by example?
Both. Like Lydie said, we both had to step up this year because of younger people, but I just see myself as being both.
Be a little bit of both. Randy, I'll let you ask a few and take a little break. Give them a break.
Hey, I'm going to talk about Coach Powell too. She's my hero. I saw her play early too, and I have a challenge for y'all. Ask her if she knows where any of her state championship rings are, because she won't. And that's the greatest thing I think I know about Coach Powell. She really is a humble person compared to what she accomplished in athletics. Wouldn't you say, Lydie?
Yes, sir. I definitely would. She's very selfless. She just wants what's best for our team. And so I think that's something that I noticed from the beginning about her, is that she doesn't think about herself. She doesn't put herself first, that she always puts us first, always asking us, hey, if you're injured, let's go get this. She's always caring about us. And I think that shows a lot.
Carly, what's your impressions?
I agree with Lily. She's definitely very selfless and always puts others before her. And her motto is family. Like, she wants us to be really close, and she believes in us more than anybody.
Does it help having a coach that was a multiple sport athlete? Does she understand the demands a little different on you all than somebody that just plays volleyball?
Yes, I definitely think she does. She knows that we're very busy, and I think that helps, since she was a multi-sport athlete, that she knows that she puts our health and like our body's physical health before anything. So she wants to make sure that we're putting in a bunch of hours of training, but she also wants to make sure that we recover good. And she knows that we're not just doing volleyball, so she makes sure that we're doing our very best.
Carly, you agree?
I agree.
Look, why volleyball? Lydie, let's start there. Why? I think it's a great sport, but it's a little bit off the beaten path. What, did it find you, or did you find it?
I kind of both. I grew up doing competitive gymnastics. I did competitive gymnastics for 8 years. And so between my 6th and 7th grade year, I really wanted to try out for school sports. And I had a few friends that had done like little league volleyball. The only experience I knew of volleyball was PE. I honestly did not even know it was a sport. So my friend helped me. I remember before tryouts, I'd just go into her house and just learning the fundamentals of volleyball. And as soon as I stepped on that court, that has been something that I fell in love with. So I think that this program, and we've had coaches, come through here and they buy into the program. And so I think volleyball kind of found me in a way because I love gymnastics. And then I came and wanted to do something involving the school. And so getting to do this, volleyball is such a competitive sport. That's what I love. It's just it's so fast paced. And I think that's what I love about it.
Yeah, it's funny. My daughter was a competitive dancer in gymnastics until the 8th grade. And then she all of a sudden transitioned into school sports. It really is a very competitive environment in that younger age for the gymnastics and dance. And sometimes I think it's that competitive edge that she learned makes her a good athlete. Now, does that make sense to you?
Oh, yes, sir. I say it to everyone that I meet that I'm so thankful that I was involved in gymnastics. It's helped me mentally and physically in every single thing that I do. Like I said, obviously my family's always been competitive, but I think doing gymnastics and being involved with that, I've always been extra competitive, and it's definitely helped me physically be the athlete that I am today.
It was strange. Leaving it was tough for me after all those years for my daughter to transition. She got obsessed with girls football, so that's our obsession in our house. Carly, how about you? Did you find volleyball or did volleyball find you?
Kind of both. My mom used to work at the middle school, and when I was younger, the middle school girls would always practice in there, and I would always wander in there and just wonder what they were doing. And then I think my 3rd grade year, I started playing Impact, and then I got to play with the older girls, and then I just started loving it ever since then.
What do you think? Trying to ask this correctly. What sport do you enjoy the most?
I like all my sports. I'm just very competitive and I want to win. And they're all very different, and I just like that.
They are. I was going to ask you about softball compared to volleyball. One of them is go, 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 go. The other one is wait. And there's a total different mentality when you're on a softball or baseball diamond to when you're on a volleyball court.
Yes, there is, but I love both, and I couldn't really pick in between because they are so different, but I enjoy them all.
I think it's what you're saying. It's according to which sport you're playing at the times, which one's your favorite. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you find, Lydia, that track and volleyball are similar in that you have that explosion and then it's kind of a rest period?
Oh, yeah. I definitely think volleyball and track kind of can go hand in hand. You're exploding, and the events that I do in track is hurdles and jumps. So I'm always jumping, and same thing with volleyball. I'm always jumping. So they're also definitely different, and I definitely have grown to love track a whole lot. And so I think that obviously being in season kind of obviously all year for volleyball since I'm doing club, but I think that helps me with track as well, just being very explosive.
I thought this was one of the coolest pictures that Phil had posted of you. And I think anybody that's ever been a track knows that feeling as you're getting into the blocks.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing like it. I enjoy it so much. That was a picture at state, and that was right before the relay. And we were fortunate to have a very successful year this past year. And so, I mean, every single time you're stepping into those blocks, your mind's just racing, you're running, and you're so ready. As soon as that gun hits, there's no other feeling like it.
Do you ever enjoy the team aspect of volleyball? I know the relays, and even when you're running on a relay, you're still competing by yourself at that moment. You have teammates, but when you're running by yourself. Is there an aspect of volleyball when y'all have a great point and you slam one that lands that big, that close to the line, just that celebration erupts? Do you feel a little different than track?
Oh, yeah. Like you said, I mean, you get an exciting play. Every single girl on that court is for you, and that bench too, their celebrations. I think there's nothing like it. Obviously, you don't get that in track. You don't. So I think that's something I love about volleyball. I mean, even if it's another girl on my team gets a huge play, just me getting to cheer for them, and I think that I really love that about volleyball.
Carly, I got a picture of you up here too, playing there. And I'm a baseball guy. I grew up playing baseball. I love it.
Yeah.
There's an element of dirt and being willing to get dirty in baseball and softball. Are you that guy or girl that never goes home with a clean uniform?
I love getting dirty, and I don't know.
There you go.
I like getting dirty. Yeah,
What position
So,
do you?
so when you was a kid, did you play in mud puddles?
I did.
Yeah.
I made mud pies too, and all the above.
What position do you play?
I can't hear.
What position?
What position?
Oh, shortstop.
Not a shortstop or a second baseman that ever left a game clean. So that suits you. Hey, go to Phil after this. 19 tournaments in. Volleyball sometimes seems like a grind that you're playing so many matches, and I know sometimes you play 2 matches in a day. You can play 3 in 3 days, and it is almost, it's a little different in that it can be physically taxing, I think, to play so much. Lydia, how does that affect your body?
It definitely does. And I think that something that I've had to realize is recovery is just as important as training. I'm a go, go, go type of person. And so I think this past year, just going all the time, I definitely was exhausted physically. So I think that I've realized that I need to put recovery in that. And I know, like you said, we play a lot of games a week. We'll play on like 2 times a week, and we'll play 2 games each day. And then we'll have a tournament on Saturday where we can play up to like 6 to 8 games. And so it's definitely something that it's on the waking up on Saturday morning at 6 a.m. and getting on that bus. It's something that you got to be definitely mentally and physically tough. So I think that's what I've realized is I need to focus more on recovery.
Carly, 6 a.m. on a Saturday, you know you've got at least 4 or 5 ahead of you. How do you prepare mentally?
Well, I always do that. I pray before games, and most of the time, well, I'm all in, so I just want to win. So, like, the end goal is really what I'm looking forward to.
Both of you have mentioned spirituality a little bit. Is that a big part of your life?
Oh, yes, sir. I think in track and in volleyball, that's something that I put God first. And I know that there's nothing that – and that's what I thank God for is that I know I would not be able to do what I do without the ability that he has given me. So at the end of the day, sports is not always going to be there, but God always will. And so I think that's something that I really focus on. I want people to know me, not just as the girl who is successful in sports, but also the girl who made a difference for God.
I agree.
And you both honor God in your athletic ability. Phil, you need to take it over. We'll get talking about something else other than volleyball, and I'll be in left field. I'll be talking about Auburn and Alabama or something.
Well, I am going to backtrack a little bit because we're going to talk about multi sports. You know, of course, I know a pretty good bit about volleyball, but you know, a lot of folks don't. And you know, I know, Lydie, I think your position is considered to be an outside hitter. Explain to me or explain to us how does hitting percentage, how is that measured, and tell us what that means for somebody that has never seen that before.
Yeah, so it'll take your amount of attempts that you take, so like amount of sets you get, the amount of kills you get, and then also your errors. So it'll take those and calculate them into like they call it like 200, 300, but it's really like 0.2 or 0.3. And so that's like really what's considered a really good hitting percentage is in the 300s. So it'll just take kind of like, I guess it's like averaging your attempts with your errors and also like your kills.
Well, tell me this: when the school's recruiting you, of course they don't, you know, they want to see, you know, of course video, but they also want to see the statistics. Is that something they take a look at? Is your hitting percentage?
Yes, sir, definitely. I think that can set you apart from other athletes because there can be a bunch of people who can hit it just as good as you, but if you're more consistent than them, I think that shows.
Well, tell me this. I know in volleyball, a lot of times there's a lot of communication. There has to be successful on the court. A lot of times when you see servers, you'll see somebody signal to everybody. Sometimes what are you kind of sort of telling each other? Does that come from the bench, or does somebody on the court make a call like when somebody's serving to you?
Well, like when we're serving.
Yeah, or either way, because I know y'all
Okay.
will kind of sort of. Yeah.
Yeah. When we're serving, Coach Powell, she'll call spots for us to hit. And then when we're serve receive and the other team serving to us, we usually call seams. So that way we know, like if Carly's to the left of me and we call left seam, she knows that I have her seam. So that's just the type of communication that we have. That way we can trust each other that I got Carly's seam.
And it
Yeah.
makes passing so much easier.
Yeah, I guess where you're anticipating, especially on the defensive side, it's kind of like, you're guessing where they're going to come to. Well, Carly, on your side, I know you just got your 1,000th dig. Tell us a little bit about that, what that means, and, and because that's mainly set up with the position you play.
Yeah. Well, my position is libero, and so I do dig most of the balls. And I wouldn't have done it without my teammates and my coach obviously pushing me to be the best I can be. But I've been on varsity since a freshman, and then it counts all my digs up till now.
Yeah. Well, tell me this: why is it that the one in your position? Why do they wear a different color jersey?
Well, it's kind of like the rules, the way it works. Your libero cannot go in front row, and also you typically libero subbing for middles. It don't have to be middles, but you get a certain amount of subs each game, and so with the libero, you just sub in and out like your middle, and that doesn't count as a sub. So it's a player that you can keep in pretty much every single rotation. She has to go out for one serve while another girl's serving, but it just is a way to save. I guess just subs, and it's also a way just to put your best passer back there at all times.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes it, because that's something I really didn't know about volleyball, because used to everybody was the same, and you just kind of, and now that's become a distinguished position now. And so I wanted to know a little bit about that, because I didn't know that. Of course, y'all have gotten off to a good start. You're 19-5. We talked about that. And of course, the state tournament is at the Birmingham Crossplex. It was last year. Is that the goal for this team, just to get there, not only to get there, to be successful? Are y'all driving to, I know you've got to play one match at a time, but I know you have to that has to be a goal, because it would mean a lot to finish up this season to get to play in Birmingham.
Yes, sir. I definitely think we want to go as far as we possibly can, especially for these seniors that have worked really hard. We would like to see how far we could go. I think something that we have kind of on our backs is from last year losing in our area tournament. We were up 2-0 against Southside, and then we lost the next 3 sets. So I think that's something, especially since last year, that was a really hard loss. That's what we want to come in and win this area tournament.
But
Yeah.
I was going to ask you that part. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
I think one of our big goals is to host area and win it. Or that's always been my big goal. And hearing from others from the team, they want it just as much as I do. So.
Well, I guess that is the big motivation for y'all, because that kind of sticks in you crawl, and you don't forget it, because I guess you remind each other of it every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I definitely understand that. Well, I want to talk a little further. Just, get off of volleyball just a second. We'll go back and talk a little bit more about it. But I want to talk about, of course, Lydie, you compete in, I know Randy didn't know that, but several track sports. Heptathlon is what you ended up competing for in the state. And you finished 3rd last year. And as a sophomore, that's pretty darn good to get that. What did that mean to you to do that well? Or was you expecting to do well?
I really had no expectations going to the heptathlon. This was my very first year doing it. This was back during indoor season. One of my coaches, Matthew, had mentioned, hey, Lydie should do the heptathlon. She'd be really good at that. And so that was just kind of something during outdoor season that I really looked forward to, getting to compete in 7 different events. So I mean, I really didn't have expectations going into it, but I enjoyed that you could just go from one event, do your very best at that event. But once that's over, whether you do good or bad, you move on to the next, because you have 7 whole events. And so that was something I really enjoyed. And at the very end was the 800. And just so finishing that and getting to see my that I was 3rd, that was a really proud moment.
Yeah, and I guess you have to be an all around. You don't specialize in one actually, but you have to be good all around in all of them. So how do you kind of train for all that?
Oh yeah, that's something my coach Peters has talked to me about. That I was one of the top 5 girls who I was not the best in one singular event that I was all around on every single one of the events. And so I think that was something that I was very proud of, that I didn't really have, I guess, a necessarily very like weak event, and that I could kind of count on points from all of those events. And I didn't really get to put much training into it last year, but this year over the summer, just talking with my coach and getting to get hours in because I mean, there's 2 throws in there. That's 2 events that I've never done before. And so I'm trying to get more hours just learning more throws so that this year I can be even more successful in that.
So I guess this time you want to try to win it this time. It would be nice. Since you finished 3rd, you kind of sort of want to step it up a notch. It'd be nice to bring them that first place trophy.
Oh, yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I understand. Well, Carly, I want to talk a little bit about your other sports. Of course, basketball. Y'all got to the region final last year. Got behind early, had to jump into your press, and then, got beat, in the second half. I think y'all kind of sort of wore down a little bit. I think, to me, y'all had to jump into your press a little too early and kind of sort of wind went out of your sails at the end. But you got very close this year, and I talked to Coach Sparks, and he feels like the team this year's got an opportunity to get to Birmingham. Do you feel that way?
Yes, sir, I do. I think we've all put a lot of effort in, hard work in, and I think we'll go even further.
Yeah, that sounds good. Because of course, I know it's not basketball yet, and you really don't have your mind on that. And of course, last year in softball, you made the all times journal team, and you played shortstop, and you've got a pretty good little pop in your bat. How many home runs did you hit last year?
I think 5.
5. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And of course, I guess y'all had a pretty good season, but y'all kind of had a disappointing end to your season. Probably didn't play as well as you thought you should have.
No, but I feel like coming back this year, it just makes us want to work even harder.
Yeah, that sounds good. I definitely understand that. I was trying to think. I was wanting to go back to. I was wanting to, getting back into volleyball. I want y'all to go into this a little bit in your volleyball career, and also as you're going through your years of being at Fort Payne. I want to know, Carly, since you're a senior this year, I mean, you have played all athletics since the 7th grade. When you finish your career at Fort Payne, what do you want to be your legacy? What do you want to be remembered for?
I want people to know that I did work hard and that I put in 110% no matter what I did.
Yeah. What about you, Lydie? I know you still got another year, but I'm sure that still, it's still, you think about that. I know everybody does.
Yes, sir. I definitely think like Carly, I want to be known for my effort, but not only just my effort that I put into both my sports, but also just being a good teammate. I want to be known for a girl who you can go to for anything, whether that's in sports or just in life. I want to be known for that. Like I mentioned earlier, sports goes away. And so I really want to be known for the person that I am.
Yeah, definitely. I understand. Well, both of you have had offers for volleyball. Do you both see yourself moving on to the next level in volleyball? I know, Lydie, you'll probably have some opportunities in track too, but Carly, do you see yourself playing volleyball at the next level?
Yes, sir. That's always been one of my goals, is to get my school paid for athletics, but I'm still keeping my options open to see what's out there.
So in case softball, because you say, and you never know in basketball too, because whatever sport you're playing is your favorite, but one of them you're probably going to end up having to hang your hat on, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, tell me this: when you do get to college, and you do, of course, you're going to have part of your education paid for. What are your goals when you get to the college level? When your softball playing or your softball or volleyball playing's done, what do you see yourself doing past college?
I want to go in the ultrasound tech program. I think I'm not really for sure, but that's something that I'm definitely looking more into.
Yeah, more into the medical field. What about you, Lydie? I know you still got another year, but I'm sure those kind of things, pop up. What do you want to do when your sports career ends?
I'm really thinking about being a physical therapist or going into somewhere with that field and working maybe with athletes in their physical health.
Well, I know both of you I've seen things about Wallace State. Are there some other are there some other schools that have reached out to y'all, Lydie or Carly, either one? Have y'all had any other schools reach out to you and speak with you any?
Yes, sir. I got an offer from the University of South Alabama for volleyball, and I've also had a bunch of phone calls with some different track coaches like Tulane, Clemson, JSU. So I've been in contact with a few coaches.
Yeah. What about you, Carly?
Well, right now I'm still with just Flawless, and I'm still talking to the Sneed and Gadsden coach to get to come watch me, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. 'Cause definitely you've got another good basketball year, good softball year, and a good volleyball year. Of course, a lot of telltale where a lot of people will see you if y'all make that state tournament down in Birmingham. That's where you'll have a lot of eyes on you. Well, Randy, do you want to take over and ask a few? We can go into the kind of sort of finding out about their interest and all those type of things.
We're not going to talk about sports for a minute. We're just it's just going to be us having chit chat. First of all, what is your guilty pleasure music? I know you both said you're spiritual, so I assume you like worship music, but what's the one that you just like get in the car by yourself, or what kind you get in and nobody's around? I want to listen to this. All right, Lydia, you start. What is it?
I think country music.
All right. Who in particular?
Ty Myers. I got to go to one of his concerts this past summer, so I think I've listened to him the most.
Nice. I like that. And you, Carly, you were shaking your head. So
mine's country too. I like Morgan Wallen.
Morgan's loved in this home, so we good with that. When you have downtime, which sounds like neither one of you do, but when you get a little downtime, what do you like to do? We'll start with you this time, Carly. We'll put the pressure on you this time.
I really enjoy watching my dad and brother drag race, and we like to hunt and fish and all that type of stuff. So,
wow, drag race! I didn't expect that one.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Have you ever gotten a car yourself?
My dad has to take me down the track just like for a warm up, but other than that, no.
What do you like to hunt and fish?
We coon hunt and deer hunt, and that's about it.
Nice. And you like listening to the dogs, of course? I got it. That's about the limit of my knowledge right there. All right, Lydia, what do you do outside of your 27,000 sports requirements to have a little fun?
I enjoy baking. I think I baked a lot with my grandparents growing up, so I enjoy that. I also enjoy just being outside, like going for a hike or something. I love the outdoors. And then also my whole family is big hunters, so I like to deer hunt as well.
Nice. Hey, fat guys love bakers, by the way, and I'm a fat I can tell you that. So, hey, any food in the whole world, we'll start with you, Lydia. Any food in the whole world you can have, it's in front of you. What are you getting?
Probably pasta or a steak. I love a good steak.
Throw a name on it.
Probably a ribeye.
That's good go-to right there. And do you like, would it be restaurant or would it be home grilled on the grill?
Probably restaurant, probably.
Yeah, expect my cooking then if you like a restaurant. How about you, Carly?
I like chicken fingers.
If people that are obsessed with chicken fingers are chicken finger eaters. I am a finger eater. 5 nights a week we eat chicken fingers in this house. So, we go Raising Cane's, and then we'll go to Zaxby's, and then we'll go someplace else, and then we'll go back to Raising Cane's. I understand. What is your by the way, Lydia, if you want to work with athletes right now, the fastest growing job, and I guarantee you there's a job waiting for you as soon as you have it, is actually high school and college trainers. And that is just the biggest booming field for people working with athletes right now. He's just, I know a school that looked for 5 years to hire someone to work with their program. So that's always available to you. What is your favorite subject, though?
I think math.
Oh, a math girl. Mm.
Yeah, mine's math too.
Oh, both of Hey, I can't blame you. I got a math degree myself.
Okay, well, okay, since y'all got a big influence in math, have been your math teacher.
Probably my favorite math teacher was Miss Williamson. I had her in 7th and 8th grade for math.
Mine's probably Miss Trailer. I had her my 10th grade year.
You know what? I discovered you could get a degree in math and economics in the School of Business, and you didn't have to take all that accounting stuff. So that's how I found it. So there is a level of laziness when you get to college if you look on in those books. Last question. Why has Fort Payne been the right school for you? Start with you, Lydia.
I think just because they're so bought into their sports, and like I said, my family's always been grown up in athletics. I mean, there's nothing like a football Friday night here at Fort Payne. The whole town, like last year, making it to third round, the entire town, we got to watch just rally around the football team, and so that's what I love. I think the most. I mean, and also not just sports, but they also care about our academics a lot, and also my mom's a counselor, so that's been really nice because she can help me with my school and stuff.
And do you ever look at your crowds, at some of your sports, and go, hey, this is a sports town. There's more people here than they would be at XYZ high school.
Oh, yes, sir, definitely. I think our student section for volleyball, they really bought in, especially we made it to state Carly's sophomore year, my freshman year, and just seeing the amount of students just drive down all the way to Birmingham just to watch us play, that meant so much just having that support system.
All right, Carly. And by the way, I think I messed your name up, Lydia, and said it that way. So you'll have to excuse me. First thing I said when I got on here, don't want to mess anybody's name up. But first thing I did was mess names up. All right, Carly, why was Fort Payne right for you?
Like she said, they're so bought into sports and all the encouragement. And like she said, we have good academics and stuff like that. And she's nothing like a football Friday. She's right.
Just to wrap it up, when you look down, especially with your other sports, and you see the word Fort Payne or you see the word Wildcats, what does that mean to you, and what does that represent? Does it represent your town? Or I think especially when you get into state, it represents that little huddle of Northeast Alabama. What does that mean to you?
Yes, sir. I definitely think it represents our town and just all the support that we have around it. I also think that I want other schools to look at the name Fort Payne and be like, oh, Fort Payne. You know, I think that's something that as a goal of myself is just making a name for Fort Payne in these academics and athletics. I think we've already done that. And so I think that's something that I'm really proud to be wear Fort Payne.
I agree.
You agree, Carly?
I agree.
Do you get your Fort Payne dirty when you slide? Do you try to keep it clean?
Oh, it can stay dirty.
Oh, okay, perfect. Bill, you can tell this girl's got softball in her heart. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with getting dirty. That's just part of it. Well, I want to ask you about a couple of things. I know y'all have played sports all these years. Now, when you were younger, y'all looked around and you looked up to the older kids. Do y'all understand how important it is to, do your best, because somebody's watching. Y'all guess y'all both understand your role models for the younger generation because, you want them to follow in your footsteps. How important is that to both y'all? Let both of you answer.
Yes, sir. I think that's very important to me. Just when I was younger, I just remember looking up to people and just wanting to be just like them. And so I think that when I think about the way that I act, I think about those little kids watching, and I want to be a good role model for them and just someone that they would want to be when they grow up.
Yeah, I agree.
Carly?
I agree with Lydie. Just knowing that somebody's always watching, like you always have a good attitude, and just showing them, or like, I'm trying to explain, just being a good role model.
Well, tell me this: what do y'all enjoy doing after a match? Especially if you are traveling. What do y'all like? Do y'all like to just kind of sit back and relax, or do y'all just kind of all get together, go eat? What do you like to do to kind of sort of wind down after a match?
I mean, I think for away games, obviously, we just ride back with our families. But after home games, I think just going out to eat with your team, especially after a big win, that's always fun. Like, our team is just a family, and so that's even like just having we have team meals once a week, just together, just to spend more time together. And I think that's something really fun.
Yeah, we usually go eat after games too. So.
Yeah, because I think that's often important to spend some time together away from the sport. Of course, you have to ride a bus; you don't have any choice. But do you find sometimes? I mean, really, some of the girls you play volleyball with, they're not necessarily your closest friends. Sometimes they become, but do you find that you have a certain bond with them, something that you will cherish and something that you will have for the rest of your life?
Oh, yes, sir, for sure. I mean, like you said, there's some girls on the team that I didn't even really know, honestly, until they tried out for volleyball. Now they're on the volleyball team. And I think that's something that we're just always a family. And because we all get to experience all these games together, all the hours practicing, all the camps that we go to. And I think that definitely builds a relationship with each other.
Cardi?
Yes, I think just spending time with them and doing the little things, you learn so much more about them that you never knew, and how much of a bond you have.
Yeah, because so many of the athletes play multi sports now. And of course, at schools, it has to be that way. Used to you just had design sports, but now there's not as much interest in sports anymore. So everybody's kind of multi-purpose sports. Some cheer and play basketball, so it's kind of multi-purpose. So I guess it's important to build those relationships, and I think coaches nowadays do a lot more of that, encouraging to be multi-sports. Because I think too, and I guess y'all get caught up in this too sometimes, is social media has a big factor on students now. So if you play athletics, it's a great way to put that phone down and communicate, because to make it through life, you're going to have to communicate. Those phones are not going to make you a living. Do y'all agree?
Yes, sir. I mean, I definitely think, especially just in volleyball, it's a very big communication sport. So I definitely think we learn how to communicate really good through doing this.
Well, one more thing I want to ask you about volleyball. I know the girls on your team would like to hear their names mentioned, and y'all can sort of, I know you don't want to forget anybody, but I'd like for y'all to maybe mention and briefly describe them and what their role is on the team, because if they're listening, would like to hear their name, I'm sure.
I think, I'll start with Carl. We call her Carl. So I think her role in the team is just being someone that you can count on. And so I think that's huge. And then I think we have a really good group of seniors, Bailey, Lacey, the twins, so Maddie and Josie. And I think Bailey is someone that she pushes through everything. I mean, right now she's dealing with an ankle injury, and she won't tell Coach Powell how she's feeling. She's going to push through it no matter what. So I think that's super huge about Bailey. And I think the twins, Maddie and Josie, they're so hilarious. Same with Lacey. She's just the funny person on the team, the loudest person on the team. And she's just always talking. Even when you have a bad day, you can count on those three just to pick you up. And like I said, we have a lot of younger kids, and that's been something that I've grown close to a lot of them. And so I think it's really fun just to see, like, we have JoJo, someone who's stepped up. She's a sophomore, and she stepped up, and she's someone that you didn't even really think, like, oh, wow. And then it's JoJo, and then she's on the court. She's everywhere. She's hustling. We know that she's going to get the ball no matter what. Marley, I mean, she's the girl on our team. She's a middle. She's really tall. She's like 6'1" or something. She's huge, and so we have her big block. And I think that's something so important. And she cares. You can see it in the way she acts. She really cares. And then Allie, this is her second year on varsity, and she's our setter, along with Alyssa setting this year. But I think Allie, she really cares, and she wants us to win, and so she'll do whatever it takes. Do you want to say some other people?
I'm trying to think who else is there.
Josie.
Oh yeah, Josie. She's a big. Well, she was outside. And she
Yeah,
had to move.
outside.
Yeah, when Bailey got hurt, she had to move to middle, and she stepped up real big and just helped me a lot with her blocks because I need her. And then
I think something that's really big is how these younger kids are stepping up and like when their role, they might have been playing a different position, but they want to step into whatever role there is. Hadley, Coach Powell's daughter, she's been someone you can count on her when she gets set. You know that she's gonna put the ball on the court, and so I think that's something. She's also a fun person to be around. She has a funny personality that you wouldn't think of, but she's just really funny. But yeah, like Alyssa, she's in my grade. She's a junior, and so is Callie. And they just stepped into roles where they're having to move positions, but they're stepping into those roles, and it's helping our team a lot.
Yeah. Well, do y'all find that often when you've got the younger players, I mean, you don't want them to get down on themselves, but because sometimes they'll get yelled at. Some teammates will kind of yell at them. Do y'all find it easier to just kind of sort of put your arm around them and kind of sort of encourage them a little bit and tell them quickly what they did wrong and and help them move forward?
Yes, sir. I mean, after every single play in a game that we come and we huddle together. And so I think that's something, especially being younger, you can put a lot of pressure on yourself and you want, because I mean, I was there. I mean, Carly was there. She was a freshman on varsity. I was 8th grade on varsity. So we know how much it is, how you just want to be perfect almost. But we know that volleyball is a game of mistakes. So I think that's something that we just come together and huddle and we're like, hey, you made that mistake, but it's just the next point.
Well, something that, that's a character, the thing, and you can tell, players that come from good families have great character. Most often it's moms and dads. Do y'all ever run into the situation, and I don't want you to name people or anything like that, in any sport you play, where you'll have players on the team that maybe have a one-parent home and they struggle a little bit. And that's where the good family kids come in and kind of sort of pick them up when they get down. Do y'all see that quite often?
Yes, sir. I mean, no matter what it is, that there's just people who step in and say, hey, like, you're having a bad day. That's okay. Like, I think that's something, just like being a family on this team, is that you may be having something's going on. And even if even if like something was going on with Carly, I don't even have to know what it is, but just being a good teammate and stepping in there and just saying, hey, I'm here for you.
Well, I'm going to get you to do one more thing, and I'll turn you over to Randy. We'll let you get out of here because I know it's getting late. But I want you can start first, Carly. I'll let you start first. Is there something you want to say to your mom and dad, how much you appreciate them? Because I guess sometimes you maybe take things for granted. Is there something that you want to tell them that, from your heart about them, about how much you appreciate them?
Yes, I appreciate them so much. Just taking me from practice to practice, from workout to workout, all the late nights, helping me with my schoolwork. It definitely is appreciated, and I wouldn't be where I am without them. So
yeah, when I talked to your dad, he said the number one goal, he wanted your brother to finish school without having any debt when he gets into that, goes into the job level. That's the main thing that his focus is on. And that's a great way to be, because so many people have to go to school and have that, student debt when they finish. And it's great to have that supporting cast naturally. What about you, Lydie? Is there something you want to say to your parents? Because I know they mean the world to you.
Yes, sir. They definitely do. I just want to tell them thank you for every single thing that they do. I mean, my dad, to start off with him, he works so hard. There's so many days, football, they don't get home until middle of the night on a Friday night, and I'll have a tournament on Saturday, and I say, hey, Dad, you don't come, just sleep. And he said, no, I'm going to be there. He doesn't miss a thing. I mean, I've had a lot of recruiting processes with emails. I go back on my text. So many times, hey, Dad, can you help me with this email? Hi, Dad, will you make me this graphic? And he's always says, yes, Lydie, and he helps me with those recruiting things. And my mom, I say thank you so much to her. She's the strongest person I know. There's so much in our family that goes on. My dad being a coach, where he might not be able to make a game because he has a game that he has to coach himself. And my mom just spreads herself out amongst our whole family, and she just doesn't want to miss a single thing. And so I appreciate that. So I appreciate her for that so much.
Well, I guess both of you, when you're going through the recruiting process and you're getting talked to, is that the biggest thing you're looking for, is to build relationships? That's what you're looking for in a school? Naturally, academics is going to have something to do with it, but relationships, with the coaches and teachers and administrative staff when you go to another school, are those big factors in the recruiting process?
Yes, sir. I think so a lot. I mean, I want to go to a school where it feels like home, and having a coach and having a relationship with a coach who just really cares about you as a person, and also just going through this recruiting process, I've been able to reach out to people that are on teams that I'm looking at, and I'll just ask the girls, "Hey, how do you like it there? How do you like the coaching?" And just getting to see and going to different camps. I get to meet a bunch of different girls on those teams, and so I just love to see how much of a family they are there and just how they get treated. And that is something that's huge to me because I want to be a part of a program that just feels like home.
Well, Lydia, you play travel volleyball, don't you? So, or on club team. So, are you able to communicate with a lot of others that way too?
Yes, sir, definitely. I met so many new people. I think that's honestly like one of the biggest blessings. My mom says all the time she just loves my club team. That's just something we've made just new friendships and new family through that. And it's so exciting because I go to a club in Chattanooga, so it's about a 50-minute drive for us. And that's also something my parents help just driving me 3 times a week to Chattanooga. And just getting to have those relationships is something that I'll cherish.
Yeah, and I think that'll help you too when you move to the next level. Yes, you've grown up with all these people in Fort Payne and you've known them like the back of your hand. Well, when you go to the college level, you're starting all over. No friends, you don't know anybody. So when you're playing on them club teams, you're able to approach others easier and get to build relationships, and that makes that a lot easier process. I moved around when I was a kid, so I had to learn to make friends, and that's just kind of the way it works. Yeah.
Yes, sir, definitely. Because I mean, going into that club, I didn't know a single girl there, and they all just welcomed me in, and I think that definitely will help just later in life. Just knowing that now I know that I've been through the experience of just not stepping on a team and not knowing a single girl, and so now that I have that experience, I can go off to college and be more comfortable, I think.
Well, Carly, have you been able to participate in any club teams or even go to any camps?
No, sir, I'm not able to do club because softball, and that
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, because I understand that that happens, and you got some. Of course, when you're busy with 3 sports, they pretty much take up all your time. So, yeah, so I understand it's hard for you to get yourself out there because you're not able to do that. But something will come out. Hard work will pay off. Always does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Randy, I'll let you wrap it up. Ladies, thanks for coming on. Y'all did a wonderful job. It's been a joy having you. And of course, I've known Carly since she was a little old bitty thing. Of course, you're as tall as Dad now. I'll have to say that, but I got to poke fun at him every once in a while. But Lydia, it's good to meet you. I've spoken on the phone several times with your dad. We haven't never actually met, but we're wanting to get Dax on here sometime too, especially since I know it's busy for him right now, but maybe after football season. But love to hear from him. I want to try to get him on before he went to Mars Hill, but it just didn't work out. But it's been a pleasure to have y'all on. I really enjoyed
it. And my compliment is to your coaches. Can you hit like each one of your head coaches and maybe the staff of each sport you play?
Yes, sir. Coach Powell, just very, very thankful for her, and Coach Mo. Both of them just stepped into a new program, for them, it was just completely new to them. We lost our 2 coaches, JV and varsity moved 2 years ago. And so both of them just stepped in and they have filled their roles exactly how I imagine. I mean, they put in so much hard work, and I'm very appreciative to them about it. And then my track coaches, Coach Peters and Coach Sanford and Matthew, I think them 3 are just so huge to me. Coach Sanford, I didn't even know I was going to do track. Coach Sanford, he's the type of guy that everyone knows that he's texting people GIFs saying, hey, you should come out and try track. And so I definitely don't even think I would be doing track without him. I'm so thankful for that. And Matthew, I'm just so thankful that he puts in so much hard work for me and just allowing me. He worked so hard to try and get me to be the best that I can. Even this summer, just taking me all the way to Birmingham to get some more training in hurdles. And then Coach Peters, he's someone, I mean, I see him in the hallway every single day. He is someone that is so exciting to be around, and he has made me just love the sport even more. And I've gotten to grow. And he said even that last year, he talked to me at the very end of the season. He said something that he loved the most is just getting to me to see my journey and just love the sport, just growing to love it. And so I just am so thankful that he wants me to be the very best that I can.
That's
Hey, and
wonderful.
talking about and you was talking about Coach Sanford. He's one of those people. He don't take no for an answer.
No, sir, he does not.
Carly, can you give us a cap on yours?
Coach Peter, or not Coach Peters, Coach Phillips and Coach Owens, they definitely pushed me to be the best person I can be on the field. Coach Phillips is always, after practice, pitch me softballs and help me get better. He's definitely one person who has helped me hit definitely all my home runs. And Coach Mo and Coach Powell, definitely thank them a lot. They're very good people and have always encouraged me to do my best and wouldn't be where I am without them either. And Coach Sparks, long hours in the gym, but it definitely pays off.
You know, and I had you mention your coaches and you talked about your parents. You both are wonderful example of what athletics have done. And we have a saying around here that great kids grow up at the track or at the field or at the gym. And you both are wonderful examples of that. And you've had some very good influences to get where you're at. And I am, usually we get on here and sometimes we have to fight the guests to get them to talk a little bit. But thankfully, y'all kind of took us home and took us on a journey. Thank you for your time. Is there anything you want to shout out to anybody before we go?
I just want to say thanks to y'all to having us here today. Me and Carly are very appreciative.
Yes, thank you. It means a lot to have us on this.
Yeah, we're nothing special. Y'all made this. Hey, for Phil Harris, for Randall Cunningham, for River City Media, we're in Chattanooga, by the way. So that's how the River City come in. We are blessed to have these young ladies tonight. It was one of the best shows, Phil, we've had in a long time.
Yeah. Yes. Thank y'all very much for coming on. Have a good evening and good luck to you. I want to see y'all in Birmingham.
I got my arm up. That means good night. God bless. Safe travels and join us back. Good night.
Good night.